we've just got Rahul Gandhi, the leader of the opposition's reaction. He says in a tweet, youth without jobs, falling manufacturing, investors pulling out capital, household savings plummeting, farmers in distress, looming global shocks, all ignored, a budget that refuses course correction, blind to India's real crises. Now, you could argue that's an extreme position that Rahul Gandhi has taken, but Shankar Iyer, when you look at some of, does the opposition have an alternative idea? The problem that the opposition seems to face, it's one thing to criticize the government and say that this budget isn't addressing the real issues. What could the government have done, or what should the opposition be really doing that would give a sense that maybe they have a better plan for the Indian economy?
The British system has this shadow cabinet idea.
That's right, which for some reason we don't want to
do. And so I've written about this 2-3 times, that why don't you present your shadow budget? Even tomorrow, now that all the numbers are there, this is what we would have done with this money and this is how we've done. Rahul Gandhi has one point. So we have seen sectoral initiatives in this budget. And probably agriculture, they could have looked at in opening it up, maybe modernizing it or whatever. There are some aspects and some aspects are not there. So the budget looks at livestock, fisheries, coconuts, but I think somewhere...
I argue here as well that I'm not sure they're looking at increasing savings. They're trying to increase spending from a market and economy standpoint. Right now, the whole emphasis is on consumers actually.
But that is a very big problem, because the share of GDP to labor and the share of GDP to capital, the share of GDP to capital is expanding exponentially, whereas the share of growth or income to the labor, which is people who work, has gone down. And this is something that the corporate sector has to address.
The opposition does give us occasionally a glimpse of their ideas in the state elections, right? They say what they want to do. In the Bihar election, somebody had said government job for every single household. So bizarre ideas are floated like that every now and then.
I sometimes I think we should separate election victories from the state of the economy. I think the economy deserves a far more focus, ideally bipartisan. That's not possible, but there are questions that need to be answered by the opposition in providing a blueprint for the union budget in future. It would be useful if someone, and the opposition not short of fine economic minds, if you brought them together on a table and they gave us what their budget would be, it would be interesting. At least it would trigger a debate.
Absolutely. The question that one could ask Rahul Gandhi and the Congress party is that what have Congress ruled states done on exactly those 7 or 8 points that they made?
Good point. Good point. Okay, we've got a sponsored commitment.